So this is Michael at WG Title. We're going to react to an NPR article talking about how title insurance is burning a hole through the pockets of clients and the fact that they probably don't need it and it's useless to them. So this article was posted about 2 years ago. Being that it's NPR, it's a big broadcast news organization, and it's actually publicly funded, which I find interesting. That they're not getting a real good assessment across the board for different opinions. It seems like it's one-sided. So we're going to delve into it and take a look and see what they're going to say.
Buying a home comes with a host of expenses at closing. One of the most costly and confusing, title insurance. It's lightly regulated in many states. An investigation by member station WBUR found that the person selling the insurance makes most of the money, often without telling you. Here's the story from Beth Healy. She's a senior investigative reporter at the station.
Peter Ott and his partner bought their first home in Boston this year. Ott's a numbers guy in the insurance business, so he had questions. First, it cost a pretty modest $200 for the title search itself. That's to prove your legal right to own a property and make sure nobody else can say it's theirs.
All right, so Beth, obviously, it doesn't have experience in the title business. Title search for $200 is not what tells you you have the legal right to own the property or that nobody else can say it's theirs. It's simply what it says it is. It's a search, and it's done to find out who owns the property, what liens are on it, yada, yada. It isn't to make sure you have the legal right to own it. That would be the title insurance. So she's flawed in her thinking right there.
The face of it, I'm thinking, oh, okay, that is the amount that it costs to do a title search. Cool.
Then Ott paid his real estate lawyer about $1,400 to handle other title work and represent him. But there was more. Insurance on the title. They were required to buy title coverage for the bank that wrote the mortgage. Then their lawyer strongly urged them to buy a second policy for themselves.
Then I also see my lender's title insurance amount, and I believe if I scroll down, I can see my owner's title insurance amount. So roughly those two, it's almost $5,000.
Okay, so this is a bit deceiving. I'd like to know what Ott's breakdown for the owner's and lender's policy are, because it's probably not $2,500 and $2,500. So this is a bit misleading to assume that the owner's made it go way more than the initial lender's policy. It's typically buy one, get one for a discounted amount, so it typically isn't that expensive. And let's keep in mind, why would a lender want title policy? They want it to protect themselves, because if they need to foreclose, they need to make sure that the only owner is the borrower. Nobody else can get in the way of foreclosure. So if the lender wants it, just like they want an appraisal to make sure that the home's worth anything to lend on, they're going to want title insurance. So if the lender wants it, why wouldn't a buyer want it?
In case a legal fight comes up later over the title, like a tax lien on the seller or a dispute over property lines. But as Ott and many others have experienced, there's pressure to purchase it.
And your real estate attorney is telling you, we highly suggest this, here's the risk that you're taking on if you don't purchase it. Why wouldn't you buy it? And
the attorney's right, and that's why you hired him, because he legally knows what's going on, and assuming you know better is a real flaw in logic. You hire an attorney because they're experienced, they know the risks, they value them, and tell you what you need to spend your money on. That's why you hired an attorney. So come on.
Ott wasn't about to argue. He signed the papers. But later, he asked his lawyer how much she had earned on the title insurance. The answer was 80%, or about $3,800. It turns out that's typical across most of the country. Big insurers pay lawyers and title agents the majority of the money charged to the homebuyer. There are very few insurance claims paid out for bad titles.
I mean, it's a scam, not just in Massachusetts, it's a scam nationwide.
All right, Bruce doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not a scam. It's been the industry standard for decades. Nobody likes talking about this, but what about the realtors? How much are they making, and what skin in the game do they have? After the deal is closed and it's done, are they going to come back and help you with a lien? No, their job was to help you buy the property or sell it. But the title company is the one that's got the skin in the game, and we do pay out a lot of claims. A lot of claims are paid. There's whole departments for claims, and they're done all the time. They're very busy making claims, adjusting and assessing if there is a claim due. So saying that it's a scam is total BS.
Will get mortgages called NACA, or Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. He says the big payouts to lawyers and agents that are buried in title insurance drive up costs for consumers.
They get so much of what I call a kickback. You can call it a fee, but I believe it's a kickback.
Yeah, it's not a kickback, Marks. It's an earned fee for performance and services delivered to the client. So I don't know what Marks does for a living, but it isn't in real estate.
Federal regulators didn't help matters when they dropped a requirement for lawyers and title agents to disclose how much they make on insurance fees.
It's odd that they say these fees aren't disclosed yet. There's a closing statement where every person getting a piece of the pie is disclosed.
In a half dozen states, including Massachusetts, title rates are not regulated at all. When it comes to protecting consumers, Iowa is the one state that stands out. They outlawed title insurance companies decades ago. Instead, the state offers coverage at a low cost and essentially guarantees a clean title. Here's Dylan Malone, director of the Iowa program.
In a residential transaction, we charge a flat rate premium of $175.
$175. And yet, in the other 49 states, a multi-billion-dollar industry is built around the possibility that a title problem could be missed or could crop up later.
All right, so I don't know much about Iowa. That sounds interesting. I'd have to do some research on it, but I don't think it's that simple. I don't think one state out of 49 would set the standard, so that seems a little ridiculous to me. There's a lot of fraud right now, and I don't know who in Iowa is protecting people from fraud for $175, but it just seems like it's not possible.
For most home purchases today, title searches are done online, and an examiner can do one in a few hours. Real estate lawyers say the insurance fees are a way to help pay for their work when title searches are more complex. Noelle DiCarlo is an expert on titles at the Real Estate Bar Association in Boston.
The reality is if attorneys weren't getting a portion of the title insurance, our fees for representing borrowers and lenders would be significantly higher.
But homebuyers don't know that. And so far, regulators have done little to help educate them or bring down the cost of the insurance. For NPR News, I'm Beth Healy in Boston.
I think a lot of this falls on the buyer not having done their due diligence to make sure what they're paying for is what they need. Oftentimes you can opt out for an owner's policy. You don't have to get it, but when you can get it at a discount because you have to get a loan policy if you're getting a loan, then why not get it? It's just a little added protection. And one thing you can think about is homeowners insurance. You have to pay that every year, and it goes up every year. It's gone up drastically here lately. Cost of living, just everything costs more now, so does insurance. Title insurance does not go up. It typically goes down every year. So it just depends on the state you're at. So what I think about the article in general, it's misleading, and obviously you have inexperienced people being asked for their opinions. There's a lot of complexities that go on in a real estate transaction, and to say we're lining our pockets or it's a scam or it's a kickback, we don't get kickbacks. We charge a fee. We do the service and we collect that fee just like everybody else in the transaction. This just seems like a hit job on title insurance, and it's built out of ignorance instead of education. All right, so if you enjoyed the content in this video, please like and subscribe, follow us, contact us if you have any questions, and always feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help.